Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. If you're new, welcome to the channel. Please consider hitting that subscribe button, the like button, and click on that post notification bell, ding, let you know when we get all sorts of new content posted. Today, we are back by viewer request, the 52. Yes, it's still here, it hasn't gone anywhere. It's just been kind of circumseated, supersized, something. Put in the back 40 for a while because we've had other projects going on. Now the Challenger's been put out to pasture for a while over on that cold side of the shop where everything kind of goes to die for a while. But today, actually it's late today, so probably tomorrow for me, same day for you, we are back working on the 52, and the goal is to get some sandblasting done. Now, I'm not gonna get everything done in this video that I know because there is a lot to do. And I've gotta do a few things, pull out the back seats. Front seat's gonna stay for right now. My goal is to kind of get the back half of the car cleaned off, find more blemishes than I know about, especially like here. That's gonna be rough. I've still got this rocker trim to pull off, and kind of work my way around the car and just kind of get started. Around the window here, see if this is anything worse than what it shows. And if I can get the back half of the car stripped off and then put a base coat of primer on there before winter hits, I think I'll be doing pretty good. I know I've got damage here to deal with, and I can't buy just a little patch. I've got to buy this whole skin, and the same for here. The problem is I can only find this full skin here for the convertible, which is different, or the two-door, which is different, and I can't find just this section here or just that section. Actually, I can't find this entire section anywhere. I've looked on Eckler's, I've looked on a couple of other Chevy sites. So if you know where I could possibly get a rear fender for this thing, please let me know in the comments. But I've got the front seats, those can stay for right now. The roof, if I can get that cleaned off, there's not much damage up here at all. In fact, I really wanted to keep the roof because of the patina, but because we're repainting it, because we peeled back that onion, well, that patina goes. Front end, I'm not gonna get to right now. I'd like to, not in this video, of course, because nobody wants to see me sandblast for 3 hours, for just the back half of the car anyways. But the front end of the car, we're leaving the engine in for right now. Maybe I'm gonna pull it out this winter yet, I don't know, or this fall for winter. It's kind of a debate between the Chevy or the Challenger. The Challenger may come out regardless just because I wanna have that transmission sent off and make sure Darren has a working transmission in there, because I know nothing about transmissions other than they need fluid if they're an automatic, and if they're a manual, well, a 3 on the tree I can drive. So I want to make sure he's taken care of so we get his car working hopefully next year for him. I'd like to see that happen. Parts, availability, time, yeah, we'll see. But yeah, I want to get this thing cleaned off, ready for body work, so once the winter comes, I can just run it up to the heated garage and get some work done on it. Trunk isn't bad. And I don't know that I'm gonna do a whole lot. I'm probably gonna give it a light coat, knock off this undercoating, finish getting the mice stuff out of here. But all in all, trunk is not rusted through anywhere, so that's a giant bonus for me. We do still have probably the original, maybe second run, tire, BF Goodrich, custom long miler, or BFG. And if you're an old gamer from mid to late 90s Doom, you know what BFG means. Kind of like BFH, BFG. So, plan is, when I come back, it's gonna be daylight outside because you can see it's dark right now. I'm gonna get this thing out one of these 2 doors, get out the sandblaster. I've got a whole box of media here, 200 pounds, which I could oddly deadlift that out of the back of the Beamer, and start sandblasting away. I'm gonna kind of mask off the dash a little bit, but everything else in here, I don't care if I get sand in it because it's gonna have sand in it eventually anyways, whether it's laying there or it's being used to blast off years and years of crap. So that's where we're at right now. I've got, like I said, a little more touch up to do. I got to get that tail light out. This bumper piece, I'm just gonna have to get the grinder, knock it off. This rear pan here, I do have another one, but it's not quite the same. It doesn't have the tail light hole in it. So need to get this off and see if I can clean it up. Who knows? Same goes for the bumper. But that is the plan. That is the plan for the Chevy. Back to the engine. Yeah, I'd like to pull it. I don't know, I have space in the garage for 2 engines. I do have, luckily, 2 engine stands, but I have a feeling both of these engines are pretty heavy. This is still the inline 6, but I think it's gonna be a cast block. And the Challenger's got that 440 in it, which also is not gonna be light. So maybe my stands will hold up to it. They came from an auto shop auction, so we'll see. But yeah, engine, I mean, it runs. Doesn't run very well. I want to check the compression on the cylinders. That's kind of going to be my telltale of what I do with it. I know the front and the rear seals leak, so those need to get replaced. I don't know if I have to tear a whole bunch of stuff apart to get to do those, or if they're an easy thing to do with the engine still intact. I know the exhaust manifold is shot. I just, if I don't have to take it apart, I'm not going to, but I have a feeling that after almost 70 years, the engine may be a little tired and could use some refreshing. So we'll see. At the very least, I'm gonna get it dressed back up. I do have a new chrome valve cover I've had for a few years. I haven't put that on yet. Otherwise, the radiator holds water. Everything else no longer leaks fuel out of the carburetor. Just kind of leaks oil everywhere else. There, the gearbox, the rear differential. So again, it's going to be another onion I'm peeling back, where if I start it, you know, once we start it, we're going to do it right and get it done. So I'm going to quit yapping. We're about 7 minutes into this and I haven't done jack crap yet. So we'll come back in the daylight and get sandblasting. Alrighty, we're back. It is a new day. A couple days later for me, since schedules and weather finally agreed. And we're going to go ahead and get some sandblasting done on the Chevy. It's going to start in the back here and kind of work around. Got our other camera set up. Got the air compressor in the background humming away. Hopefully this bigger unit will be a little more of a help for us. And yeah, if I can just start cranking away on this back quarter here, and if I can get the other quarter, and then working up into the roof done, I will be happy. I know this has to come off yet. Whoopity-doo, I'm going to cover up the trunk, cover up the engine area a little bit, and be good to go. So let's just let that air compressor do its thing for a second, cover up our hood, and we'll get right to it. Alrighty, we've gotten a slow start, but a start nonetheless. And kind of happy with what I see so far. It's you know, pretty decent metal. I was kind of concerned around here where this trim goes, it would have rusted through. And it does still seem solid, so that's nice. It's going to reveal more dings and stuff, of course. I haven't gotten down to the rockers yet, but it's actually still in piece. I probably got to replace that whole thing to get this fixed. Yeah, fun. Anyways, what I was looking at is some of this damage along back here. This just looks like a dent, can be hammered out from the back side likely. This, I don't know, this may be lead work from original factory, I don't know. I look up here at the seam, which I didn't know was the seam originally, but I guess it is. When I look at this down here, and then I can feel up under here, and there are two pieces crimped together, welded together. So this looks like lead work from original factory. I don't know. Let's see, can I see under here at all? Can you see under here at all? Oh. Not very much. So who knows, but it looks like this down here isn't actually Bondo, it's lead. So I'm gonna guess that's done at factory. This over here, maybe the same deal. I guess we'll see when we hit it with the sandblaster. So we're just gonna keep rocking through this this panel here. Probably fill up our jug here with some more sand and keep plugging away. Alrighty, folks, we are back. I've got a lot of the sandblasting done because I figured you really didn't care to see, 5 hours of me sandblasting. So kind of a boring time lapse. Anyways, what we've got going is I've started the roof, but the back is done. Quarters are done, or fenders are done, whatever you want to call them. Need to get a special bit to take off some of these parts here. We've got that goofy wide flathead screw. This side's done. You can actually see where they let it in, the roof skin, and then the back, the trunk filler plate here. And then where these two pieces of the rear were put together here and here, it's because of the stamping. So I actually don't see there was any original body work. This here is also lead, so if it was done, may have been done at production, because I don't see any other signs of repainting or anything. So we've just got this little guy here to pop out, and a little cleaning up around there. I finally got this trim off here around the window, and I think I'm going to keep going down the rabbit hole and take off the front fenders, because it's just going to make cleaning these off a lot easier. Then I get behind them, and then I'm not dealing with stuff getting in the engine. I'm still not going to do the engine bay yet, but at least when I do, I'll have these quarters or the fenders off, so I can take out the battery, the heat box, and whatever. And if I pull the engine, great, probably will. So I'll do all of that at the same time. Probably spray this engine area itself black, I'm thinking. And maybe I'll do it blue, since it seems to be, nope, looks to be black. I don't know. Part of it's blue, part of it's black. I guess we'll find out. But for now, I'm just going to go ahead, work on getting these two front fenders off, which means I've got to go a bunch of bolts along here. There's some underneath, a lot of along the side here. So probably a little extra work, but I think better end outcome. But I've still got to get some of these goofy screws out here, and I don't have one of those bits. So that's where we're at with that. I brought back another 600 pounds of sandblasting media. So we're running into a case of some of the sand that was in there had sat in there for a good part of the summer and just did not want to come out. So shook it up, dumped it out. There are a couple clumps in there, so I think I just may have gotten some moisture in there over the summer, being down here in the shop. So rule of self, just find a job. You've got 50 pounds worth of material to use, and you'll be fine. So I think my biggest concern finishing up sandblasting is with the dash. This, I understand, is welded in. I'm not cutting it out. So what I believe I'm going to do is just carefully mask and tape around the rest of the dash so I can get this repainted, and then I'll come back, get the gauges out and the dials, and then repaint around that with this white creamy color that it used to be, and see how that comes out, because I have no interest in taking out the dashboard. Now, steering column, we'll see. I don't know, that also looks to be a pain in the butt. There's a point where it's my car and I'm kind of like, that just may be more work than it's worth in the grand scheme of things. If I can get everything else cleaned up, we'll see. But try and do the best we can with what we've got and go from there. One nice thing I did find, I'll find the company below. I think it's Hot Rod Metals or something like that. Hot Rod Metal Specialist or something. I was able to find all of the patches for these rear rockers. So if we look here at the driver's side, not so bad. I've got this coming in, this whole top plate, so from here back it's new, and then I also found new pieces here too. So you can see not so bad driver's side. But if you look on the passenger side, that's a lot worse. In here is really bad. Under here is totally gone. So I'll get those replaced, and that's really going to leave me with this little area here to fill in, and then back here. And I don't know that I can find from here back without doing like a half panel. And I only really need this much space, so maybe I will start trying to fabricate something in here to fill in this tear. And if it looks like poo, then I'll go back to the drawing board and look at buying stuff. But for now, I've got the front fenders to get off, this little bumper trim plate, and then there's one up in the front as well to get off, right here. And those can get put back in shape. But for now, I might go out and try and sandblast the rest of this roof off just because it's a nice day. I don't know. Welcome back. All right, folks, we are back, and just a cutscene for you. For me, it's been a few hours. We have gone ahead and taken off more parts. We now kind of have a open wheel racer. I didn't film all this because it's kind of tedious, kind of a pain. I spent some time with the family, flew kites with the kids. One of them got on the horse, one of them fell off a horse. Life goes on. Anyways, they're in bed. I'm down here working again and wanted to get some progress done on this so I can A, wrap this video up so it doesn't become an hour long for you to sit and suffer through, and B, so I can get on to doing something more important like body work and more fun stuff to watch versus sandblasting and turning a wrench. So here's what we've got. Yes, the car looks a lot skinnier up front now. I've got the front fenders off. I also took off this front bumper tray thing here, whatever you want to call it, and they're sitting over here. Driver's side, passenger side, and that front bumper thing. I've still got to get that goofy bit to take out the headlight cans, but I've got the wiring off, I marked it, and if I can find a wiring harness for this, great. I don't know that I want to build one from scratch. Everything in here wiring-wise works perfectly. There's not a problem with it at all. A few little nicks up here where I got it when I was cleaning the engine bay out a couple years ago. But everything in here works. I don't have any problems with mice have eaten anything. There's nothing rotted out or shorting. Just a little bit of insulation here and there that's missing. But we'll see. If I go through the trouble to do everything else, may as well do wiring, but I don't like wiring. So walk around to the back, and I got this bumper plate off as well, whatever you want to call it. The little trunk sill goes right there. It's pretty beat up. I've got a second one, but it does not have the cutout for the light. It's somewhere over here in this pile of parts. I could almost use another 2 or 3 stacks to put parts on, but then I also kind of would need flooring that's level. So I guess that's what I got for now. So as I was saying, I've got another one of those, doesn't have the cutout for the light, but maybe we'll delete it, maybe we'll cut it in, maybe I'll try and fix this one. I did notice I got the license plate holder off, and there is damage here, so I did not notice that before. And this is kind of tough to get behind here because I have my trunk bracket in the way, and that appears to be welded on. So I'll have to see how I can get this out. This has to come out. I mean, I can feel it behind with my fingers, but there's no way I'm going to be able to get a hammer back there. So I think my handy dandy stud gun is going to come out again and pull this out. Yeah, this has to come out a little bit. This needs to go in a little bit. So a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Otherwise, now that we've got these off, I've got the rest of this trim off inside here. I've still got to tape up the dashboard, get the roof done for sandblasting. We'll wrap that up in the next video. But I'm going to come in here, I'm going to get this sandblasting cleaned off and prime it, and I'm just going to hit it with the Rhino liner or the Raptor coat for a liner, and clean up down here. I did replace some of the suspension a couple of years ago. I will see, I mean, I'm sure it all needs to get redone, but that can be redone in time, such like converting the drums over to discs. For now, I'm just focusing on getting the paintwork done and back to something I don't have to push around. So springs, you know, all those things can get redone in time. But body, that's all apart, so we'll get that put back together. So yeah, we'll get this all cleaned up, blasted, prepped, painted. And these panels, they're not too bad. I mean, I already marked a lot of the damage that I saw originally. And aside from this, it was under one of the chrome rocker panels. I didn't see that. That I can cut and fill in. It's a similar one over here on the passenger side. But really for what it is, being 70 years old, not too bad. Got a couple of shims. Oof. A couple of shims to hold that on, a couple of shims on the top, but overall. So I think for now we're gonna wrap it up, put a bow on it, tie it up, whatever you want to say. And we'll come back in our next episode and finish the sandblasting for the roof and the couple of panels, the fenders and those little trim valance panels, whatever you want to call them, for the bumper, front and rear. And that's going to leave us with a whole lot of body work to play with and focus on for a while. So hopefully you like body work and watching me learn and suffer through that. But that's going to allow me to get at least a base coat of primer on stuff. We are getting close to winter, and I want to make sure everything that I've stripped off, I can get at least one coat of primer on. So during the winter, I mean, granted it's going to be in the shop here, running back and forth to the garage if it snows or it gets wet, I want to make sure it's protected. So that's where we're at with that. All right, and before I head out, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to JC Motive Garage. They're also working on cars and fun stuff over there. They're close to their 1,000 sub mark. Go ahead and give them a like and a subscribe. And if you haven't done the same here, please do. And until the next video, have fun doing what you're doing, and we'll see you real soon. Bye-bye.